All right, you guys, this is Ira Raines. Ira is a master sculptor. I've known Ira for many years, and he is one of the few artists I've ever represented that's never had a real job. This is a bronze. Ira created this. It's called sculptural etherealism. So a lot of people think once the artist creates that first edition in clay, that's pretty much it. But from the clay, there's 5 different masters needed to go to the next step. There's a mold maker. The mold maker is a very skilled and talented person that has to make a series of molds. The first one is done in a rubber silicone, which creates a version of this in wax. From the wax, it gets cut up so that additional molds can be made of smaller, more manageable pieces. From there, the bronze is cast, the wax flows out, and we end up with a basic jigsaw puzzle. That's where the next master comes in. He is the welder. He's the one that takes all those pieces and puts them back together exactly the way the artist intended. If he doesn't do a great job, the next guy's job is much harder. He's called a chaser. He grinds out all the welds, polishes, and finishes up the detail. From there, we turn it over to another person that has spent their whole life learning how to do patina. And since each one of these sculptures looks very consistent and similar, that person applies a patina. That is done through chemicals, acid, and heat. After they spray the piece with the chemical, they apply a torch to it. The longer you keep the heat on, you'll get marbling and darker color. The less time, it's lighter, which is consistent with Ira's theme of sculptural etherealism. Each one of these figures is rising to the heavens. You'll see one hand facing up, reaching for the stars, while one arm is reaching back to the ancestors. This is an incredibly deep and philosophical sculpture. There can be no light without dark. That's Ira's beautiful theory. These are done in very low numbers. This one is going to be only 25 made. What this does is creates very limited availability, and in a few years they're going to be extremely hard to find, and we know what that does to the value. Let's go see some other sculptures.